Hey everyone, Joe here. So today I got a review of the ViewSonic VX3276-2K-MHD. This is a QHD 2.5K LED backlit display for content creators and productive people. People who kind of work in an office, work with CAD, do web graphics and stuff of that nature. Now, this is a 32-inch IPS panel, and I got it to replace my BenQ that went out a few years ago that I just never got around to replacing. So anyway, this is going to be a two-part video. Yeah, because right now it's in the box. I can't review it if it's still in the box. That would be just unboxing. However, I will be hooking it up and installing it and testing it out for a few days before I finish making this review, so I can actually test it and give you all the results and everything. So this is supposed to be a really good display. Supposed to be like 99% sRGB, like 75 or 78% of NTSC. I'll put the specs on the screen because I don't make cue cards or anything, and I have forgotten. But it is 2.5K, which is 1440p. And before I even get it out of the box, can we just appreciate the fact that you can get a 32-inch IPS display these days, 10-bit display at that. I didn't mention that. For just around $300. This is something you couldn't do 7 or 8 years ago, because the BenQ display that this one's replacing had the same specifications. I spent $800 on that one. Now, 2.5K. I didn't get a 4K because it was about $150 more. And the reason I am getting a 2.5K is I like the native resolution, and anything smaller pixel pitch, like if I went to 4K, it gets really hard for me to read. My vision is not the best in the world, and this phone won't come out. All right, let's turn the box upside down. Don't do a Linus here and drop something. All right, box out of the way. And, whew, that is squeaky. Hope I didn't make everything too loud. Comes with your monitor power cable, standard with the ground. Your nice aluminum with rubber pads. Foot stand, brace. This is a VESA compatible, which is what I'll be using. I will not be using the stand. However, I will be setting up on the stand just to show you. So, kind of hooks in there. And what cables does it come with? Is this just display port, or is this HDMI? Let's take it out and look at it. Yeah, it's just a HDMI to HDMI. Something I'm not completely sure about yet is if you can use HDMI on this one to HDMI on my RTX 2070 and get 10-bit color. You're supposed to be able to, because it does have the I think it's 1.4 HDMI standard, or 1.2. Like I said, I'll put the specs on the screen. However, that really depends upon NVIDIA's implementation. So if I can't do it with HDMI, I will have to switch it out for not DVI, but DisplayPort cable, which I know for a fact will work. So get that out. Now, this screen isn't super bright. It's only 250 nits. However, the 27-inch display that I've been using is also only 250 nits, and it's I've been running it about 80% brightness. 250 nits may be too dark for somebody who's in a bright office, but if you're in a bedroom or darker productivity area, as long as you're not outside or in a really bright office, executive office right next to a window, 250 nits will be just fine. The contrast ratio on this one is about 1200 to 1 actual contrast ratio. Although they advertise like 80 million to 1, which that is just marketing. I'm not really sure how it's going to actually work out. About 1,000 to 1 is normally average. So about 1200 to 1 should be okay. Like I said, I got to test it out. I can give you the specs all day, but that won't tell you actually how it works. Now, one reason this thing isn't as bright as, say, or have more contrast or brighter is because it only has one LED bar at the bottom. Because if you look on how thin it is on top, all you got is one LED down at the bottom kind of illuminating the entire panel. So if you wanted brighter, then you're going to have a thicker panel with a lot more bezel. And this bezel is super thin. So let me get this out of the way and I'll set this up and we can take a look at it. Okay, got it all set up. As you can see, this is a very, very nice, display. It's gonna be really great. I didn't mention that it does have 75 hertz refresh rate, which I don't really care too much about. What gaming I do, Anyway, what gaming I do play, like Guild Wars 2, a little bit of Witcher, stuff of that nature, I play at 60 frames per second. I don't do competitive, first-person shooters, so high frames per second. It's something you're into. Well, this is not a gaming monitor. Gaming monitors normally don't have as good of color quality, and I went for color quality and color accuracy over gaming because really it isn't going to matter. I don't play competitively. Now, I didn't mention it does have two HDMIs. It does have two display ports, one regular display port, one micro display. And what else does it have here on the bottom? Let me ease it down. And like I said, one of them is a mini display port, regular display port, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and the headphones on the back, and power plug. That's really about it. But other than that, this is really nice. Like I said, it does have 100 by 100 VESA mounting on the back, which I will be using when I go to set it up. So anyway, here's what it looks like out of the box. Let me turn around and install it, and we'll get back to the second part of the video when I actually test it out and everything and check the color accuracy myself. Okay, let's go over the menu system here in the monitor. As you can see, you get the basic one right here. If you do little buttons here at the back. Okay, so you get your basic view modes, contrast, brightness, input select, and main menu. But we got a few more options than that. Let's go ahead and click on that one, the display. You can see you get the mini display, display port, HDMI, and you can choose those right there. And let's go back to the menu again. This time let's go to the main menu and show you all of the options. Alrighty. Let's start at the beginning. It said input select if you want the big menu. Sorry for shaking the monitor. It is on a stand after all. And we got mini display, display port, HDMI, HDMI 2. You go over there, you get your volume adjustments. If you go from there, you can see your options, mute, on, off, all that, blah, blah, blah. And you got your return. Let's go on over to view modes. Now view modes got quite a few options here. You got standard, game, movie, web, text, Mac, and mono, which I'll be go over these for you. It's pretty nice. You got standard, you got your low latency, lag, black stabilization, advanced DCR, blue light filter, response time, and recall. Let me kind of, quite a few of these are grayed out. Okay, let me go back with that. So yeah, a few of them grayed out. That is because I am running in sRGB mode, which I'll show you in a second when we go over to color adjustment. So let me choose one of these for you. So you got low latency, lag, on or off. I got that one turned on. We go down here, response time, standard, advanced, ultra fast. I have mine on advanced because it looks smooth, a little bit better than standard, but ultra fast has ghosting. Okay, then you have recall. If you want to do that one, I don't. Just go back out of that one. So we go over here to game mode. You got a few game mode stuff you can go through. I got movie mode, web mode, text mode, Mac mode, and mono mode. So yeah, mono mode, you got to turn it gray, which is pretty nice. Turns the whole display and everything gray. If you're colorblind, it'll probably work great for you. Let me go back out of that one. Go back to standard. Okay. And let's go back out. And we'll go over here to color adjustment. As you can see, you've got a few options here. Let me choose that one. Brightness, contrast. You notice contrast is grayed out. That is because I'm running sRGB mode. And we go down here, you got color temperature, which is sRGB, which I got my set in. Bluish, cool, native, warm, and user control. User control lets you adjust the sRGB values. Native is what it comes in by default. And you can adjust the display, how long you have to stay up. I think mine's set to 15 seconds at the moment. So let me go down here some more. Color space. You got auto RGB mode and YUV mode. I got mine set to RGB. Color range, auto, full range, and limited range. Of course, I have mine set to full range, which I recommend. And let's go back over here. Then you got manual image adjustment. You get sharpness, contrast, and overscan. Overscan is off for this one. Of course, sharpness. Let me go down here, choose that one. Set to about 50, which is really good. Looks really nice. Aspect ratio, of course, full screen. And let's go over here to setup menu. You got quite a few options here. Got your language input. Let me just choose this whole menu so we'll go through these. Obviously, English, French, Dutch, Spanish. Resolution notice on, information. Of course, yeah, I'm running mine at 75 Hertz. OSD timeout, which I've set to 15 seconds. That's why it keeps cutting off. OSD background, on or off. I guess you can turn that on or off. I got mine set on. Power indicator, auto off. Sleep, eco mode. And a DCI, CI option, which you can control this monitor from the computer. And memory recall and all of that. So yeah, that's basically everything on it. And just in case anybody is wondering, let's go back over here and close out of that. Go back to the menu. My color and contrast. The contrast is set, the default to 70. And brightness I have set to 75. Of course, like I said, set to 70 and 75, that is because I do your photo editing stuff and want the best colors. And to be quite honest with you, 75 is still quite bright on this monitor. Okay, everyone. So here we are. It's been a week. I've had time to test out the monitor and see what I like and dislike about it. And well, overall, I do like the monitor. There are a few things I need to point out, though, before you consider buying this monitor. First of all, the 80 million to 1 contrast ratio they advertise is just marketing, bullcrap. And that is simply because you can't really get a true 80 million to 1 or anything remotely close to some arbitrary, crazy number like that on a display that only has one local dimming zone, which is the entire display, because the LED bar is at the bottom of the display, which is why it's thicker at the bottom and thin at the top. However, despite that, it gets great illumination across the entire display. So ignore the 80 million to 1. But I do want to point out that 1200 to 1 contrast ratio they advertise, I think may be a little understated, because I've seen displays with 3000 to 1 not be nearly as good. And normally 1000 to 1 is like the baseline minimum you get on basically any display. The 1200 to 1 on this one, like I said, they may be a little understated because the contrast ratio is so great. You get such deep dark blacks as best you can get by going to OLED, and extremely bright brights at the same time, and they look very nice, very lifelike, and really, really good. Another thing I want to mention is the 250 nits that I mentioned before. I think may be also a little understated, because 250 nits is normally considered kind of low and something you don't want to use in an office environment that's extremely bright, for example, next to a window that gets a lot of sunlight. However, I do have this one set to 75, and that is still at times too bright for true white. As for example, if you bring up like a notepad or something other in Windows, it's bright. It's very bright. Maybe too bright. As a matter of fact, I may have to end up lowering it down a little bit more, probably about 70 or 72 on the brightness, because 75 is just maybe just a pinch too bright for color accuracy and stuff. Another thing I want to get out and talking about color accuracy is I was not able to test it, and then that's probably an issue with my Datacolor Spider 5 Elite that I have. Normally, before I could set it up and test my monitors. However, Even on my Samsung monitor previously before this one, it wouldn't work. It kept making the screen way too yellow. And I'm not talking a little warm. I'm talking like 3,000 temperature on Kelvin too warm, like extreme tobacco yellow. So yeah, it's something wrong with that one. It may be my unit, the Spider 5 that I have, but I really don't think it's this display. However, do be warned, if you do get this display, there's a chance your Spider 5 may not work. And I'm not sure how the Datacolor Spider 6 version that's out will work on it, but I definitely would test it out and see if it worked. And if it didn't, send it back in. Not the display, the Datacolor. And what else? Oh yeah, the bezel on here. Now, they advertise a ultra thin bezel. And, well, yes, the bezel is ultra thin. However, you do have a dark 1/4 inch line on the sides of the monitor display here, right next to the bezel, which kind of makes the thin ultra bezel kind of a moot point. In my honest opinion, that isn't just bad marketing. You know, it does look nice when the display is off. However, when the display is on, it's very noticeable, especially if you have a bright background, as I'll show in B-roll here. However, overall, it's not bad. It looks nice. I still enjoy it. And which gets me to my last point I want to point out here. And this is something I was considering and had already pre-thought of before testing it out. The display it only comes with HDMI cable, and with my NVIDIA RTX 2070, like all NVIDIA cards, except for maybe the Quattros, which I'm too poor to afford. If you use the HDMI to the monitor, it is only 8-bit. You can't get the full 10-bit capability of the display. And 10-bit is a selling point for an IPS display like this. However, like I said, you can't use the HDMI and get 10-bit. That may be different on an AMD graphics card, but on NVIDIA, that is something you need to consider. The other thing is, when I did hook up a DisplayPort cable that I did have laid around, not sure what the version is on the DisplayPort cable, but I can only get 10-bit at 60 Hertz and not get 10-bit at 75 Hertz. I have since then ordered a new DisplayPort cable version 1.4, which I needed a long one anyway to go across the ceiling. So, will I be able to get 10-bit at 75 Hertz of it? Check down the description below. When I do get it hooked up, I will update the description down there in the comments areas. Not comments area, but we'll probably the comments area too, to let everybody know that if it does or does not. So, that's still up in the air. But overall, the display is just extremely nice. The colors are very true to life, vibrant when they need to be, not vibrant when they shouldn't be. It is extremely nice. Even just playing around games and stuff, I'm surprised how much I like the 75 Hertz. Even though before, when I was unboxing this video, this monitor and stuff, I was like, just play it at 60, it doesn't really bother me too much. I got to say, after playing around 75, even just playing stuff like, I occasionally play like Guild Wars for a couple hours in the afternoons when I'm busy, or Guild Wars 2. Just playing at 75 Hertz makes a big difference in making the game feel more smooth. And as far as video editing and stuff, and just using a regular desktop, it just makes your cursor and moving windows and stuff around seem so much smoother too, that I just leave it on 75. So anyway, do I recommend this monitor? It's a $300 monitor. And the colors and viewing angles and everything, the brightness about this monitor is just amazingly good. Is it a gaming monitor? No, you're not paying $800 for a 32-inch display. This is a $300 monitor, which I think is actually priced really well, because you're getting a lot for just $300 here. And I do highly recommend this display. So if you're interested in this display, check out my Amazon link listed down in the description below. If you're interested on it, but do I recommend it? Heck yes. If you're a content creator, occasional gamer, check out this display. You're going to love it. So anyway, that's my video on this. I hope you like this review. If you do, how about hitting the like button down below? And if you like this video a lot, please share it to all your friends and family and stuff. Sharing the videos really does help me out a lot. So anyway, that's it for this video one. Hope you liked it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please take time to subscribe. Subscribing is free. It's for you. Let you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.